Just gonna finish up, just making sure I've done everything for the work from home stuff and just make sure I'm up to date. So unfortunately I don't have my DAW access anymore. My laptop's broken recently. I don't have the money to fix it at the moment, which is really annoying. But that's, yeah. So yeah, I think Ethan and I chose Dunkirk for our video. What did we choose? Yeah. Um, but then yeah, I'm gonna watch these videos on how to create sound design. Um, I don't think I'll be able to evidence anything in terms of outcomes because I don't have access to a DAW at the moment. I would say I try and run something on this computer, but I've only ever used Logic and BandLab and stuff, but BandLab is so counterintuitive, it drives me up the wall and I would probably break something. Mostly the screen, I think, because it just drives me insane. Next, give initial, we're going to create the collaborator, research how to create Foley sounds, record these into your phone. So what I need to do is I need to get Ethan and I together so then we can sit down and just be like, what sounds do we want to make, and then we'll just add some stuff in. Yeah. I need to do my smart targets as well. Although I don't really understand smart targets, I think that's something I have to speak to Mark about because, yeah. Yeah. It's just, I just don't get the concept of them. It's not so much that I don't get why we have to do them and stuff. So I think I just need a bit more of an idea of what the smart targets are, and then I can do them. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm done, which is great. Not because I don't like doing work, but it's 4 o'clock and I wanna just like go to bed. And oh yeah, and then also I need to sort out my bridging task. Yeah. So for my bridging task for the movie, for the trailer sound, I did create one, and I thought I'd upload it to OneDrive, but turns out I hadn't. So it's not being saved, which is really unfortunate because I spent a lot of time and I was really, enjoying doing it. So unfortunate, but that's life. I do have screenshots of it, however, which I'll be getting up if I can see them. Yes, cool. So in the photos, you've got the on the Wix page. I'm just going to go through them quickly. So the text to speech, the first one of the audio files, those are all vocal samples that I recorded onto my phone here because I didn't have a mic I could use, but then I recorded it into the phone. It was very much like the Peggy 16 place, like the sound, the words that you saw on screen. I wanted to do like what you see in a real trailer. You'd have, they always have sound bites. You go like Sega, that kind of stuff, So I wanted to add those in. I'm trying to, yeah, I think that was most of them. And then yeah, let's look at this next photo. Next photo is the whole thing. So what I did is I used a lot of strings initially and warm flutter. So I kind of used like this big kind of like pad because it was a very desert scene. I wanted to create that kind of desolate, isolated scene. And then yeah, so you've got the airways, which is kind of like that big, airy, spacey pad synth, which kind of created that atmosphere of like just a barren wasteland or like a desert, as seen in the trailer for The Little Nightmares. And then what's also here is the crow. So the crow call is actually the audio file above the sampler. So initially I just did that one for the crow because I wanted, because that's what bird sounds like, and it's in there, and it's kind of like repeating, and it does it in the initial video as well. In the actual Little Nightmares trailer, you hear the bird, so I wanted to add that. But what I found very cool is once I'd loaded it into a sampler, so then I had ease of access, I could just press a button instead of having to insert it manually by audiophile, I found that by pitch shifting the octave, because of how sampling works, it slows down to reduce the pitch and speeds up to increase the pitch. The slowed down pitch was an incredibly unsettling, like predator sound, of that kind of like clicking, like that kind of intense thing, which I used quite a few times, because it was effective, and it built tension. Yeah. What else? And then you've got all the Foley sounds I've added in. So there was some stuff getting broken, like wooden doors, or people like they fell, they broke a ledge, this wooden ledge. I had to add that in. There's like wind and stuff. So when you see the evil perfume, no, it might be a mirror. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. There's like gust of wind, and it says evil, because I thought that was kind of funny, but it's also kind of, I've repeated it through, so it's kind of like, it's like a motif at this point. Then I added some like ambient sounds, like Cameroon Turaka birds, just to show, I think that was part where it was like more spacey, and it was like more intense. There was the Evil Demon Baby. So there's the destruction. I've got a lot of the impact sounds, so there's the Evil Demon Baby when they excuse me, when they punch through the wall. I got that sound. I got the sound of like the bricks falling, as well as the impact sound, which I did find quite tricky. But I actually ended up using that crow sampler again, because it's great. Yeah. So the Evil Demon Baby impacts was, I had a big kick, and then I put it was a drum machine, and then I put I put Chroma Glow, which is the kind of saturator distortion plugin on New Logic, which is great. It really just fills it up without making it sound distorted, like crunchy and horrible in your ears. It just kind of fills it up, which is like a saturator, which I found very useful to mimic the steps of a Evil Demon Baby that was the size of like 3 stories, So, and then also with the baby crying, Evil Demon Baby, because I added a pitch shifter and a silver verb, the reverb, one of the built-in reverbs. I did the pitch shifting just to create that sound of, so I put down 6 semitones and 18 cents, so to make it sound dissonant, to make it sound horrible and demonic, like a evil demon baby would. And I didn't mix. I only put 40% mix, 46% mix on it, so it was like 50-50 of the initial audio and then the pitch shift audio, and it just kind of made it sound a bit wider and a bit more like in your face, like, oh, what's this? This is evil, And then the silver verb, just to create a little bit more space. I did actually put it on the channel itself. Normally what I do is I'll put it on a send, but difference for me this time was that I didn't need to put it on a send, because I wanted to have that kind of sound of it being slightly further away and it having that kind of sound, because like something big, if you imagine, like it's gonna be a big booming sound, because if they're big, they're gonna move more air, because mass moves mass. So I wanted to kind of create the image of the space and the size of the baby with that reverb. I've already talked about that photo, and so that was all those photos. I just wanted to go through them, it's unfortunate that the thing didn't save because it got wiped in half term. So I can't really evidence that I've done it. Mark knows that I've done it. I was in the lesson and I have showed him, and I've shown my peers, but I need to make sure I save it all to OneDrive, and it all uploads to OneDrive by the time I shut the computer. But that's live and learn,